No, is he gonna break this?
Be good, E.T.
Oh, I'm good. I'm going to go get this toilet paper.
Be good.
Well, E.T.
He said he's getting.
No. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You don't need the
Scary.
It's evil
Scary.
E.T.
I'm not here.
Yes, you are.
You hear how high-pitched Lily T's voice is?
Yeah.
Evil.
That
Evil.
signals evilness.
Yep.
Oh, so evil.
I'm not evil.
But are you though?
Definitely. Mhm. Yes.
High-pitched voice instantly realizes you're evil.
Yes, exactly.
Just common sense.
Hey, if you have not joined in on the Pear Deck, it's QANXM. So we're going to wrap up composite figures, and we're going to start on volume today. Okay, let me try turning this off.
I'm going to get myself another.
Let's see. I'm trying to get this to launch.
I must say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Hello.
No. Go name after name. Hello, Angelo. Hello, Madeline. Hello. Oh, that's me. Hello, Lincoln. Hello, Pickle God. Hello, Graham. Hello, Josiah. Hello, Monty. Hello, Josephine. Hello, Pramita. Hello, Jayla.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Melis. Hello, James Park.
Hello.
Hello, neighbor.
Hello, James. Hello, James. Hello, every single person.
Yay, awkward silence.
Yeah. Come on.
It's only awkward because Evil ET is just staring at me.
Exactly.
It's the only reason it's awkward. Look at that. Oh my gosh. No.
I cannot evil.
It's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
It's gonna haunt my nightmares.
Yeah.
I do. Picture.
Izzy, this is a nightmare.
All right. Anybody not? Let me see if I got
I am
everybody
a
in.
nightmare, but okay.
This already was a nightmare, but then Evil ET got here, and then
It becomes even worse. Even worse.
the nightmare became a reality.
Okay. Thank you for hanging with me. I'm trying to get Betty in.
Oh my gosh. Can Evil ET like move, please? Please? No, stop.
All right.
Stop.
If you have not connected to the joinpd.com, QANXM, please. If you'll do that, please.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to forward through a couple of these. So, because we've already done them. So remember when we did this yesterday. Hang on just a second. Let me get in. I'm trying to get a couple people in that aren't in. All right. So when we did this problem yesterday, the deal was we had to get the area of this square. After we did that, we had to get the area of this circle, but only half of it because only it's a half circle, right? All right. So moving on. On this one, we had to get the half circle again. Then we also had to get the area of this trapezoid. Would someone just chime in and tell me, good there, Izzy. Somebody chime in and tell me, how do you get the area of that right trapezoid? How do you get the area of a right trapezoid? Izzy, how do you get the area of a right trapezoid? This part right here.
Hold on.
So I say 2 plus 10, which is 12, half it,
Yeah.
correct?
Uh-huh.
And then its height is 4. So 6 times 4 is 24, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, moving on. I'm still trying to get these people in over here that are not in. Give me just a second. Thank you for bearing with me. Hold up just a second. Let's see, is Betty in? Okay, Betty's in. Courtney, you got in.
Bravo.
All right. So let's move on. Okay, on this one, okay, it's moving on its own. I didn't move it.
Bravo.
Okay,
Bravo.
here, all drawings.
E.T.
All
right. On this one, go ahead and tell me, what is the area of this composite figure? I think we did this one yesterday, but that's where we left off, I believe. So if you can look at that one and tell me the area of the composite figure. So to do that, you're going to want to get the area of this triangle and then get the area of this rectangle. Remember, area of rectangle, length times width or base times height. Area of the triangle, base times height, half of it. Then add those two numbers together. And I'm doing it on my calculator on the side as well. Okay, Betty, are you there? All right, so hopefully you got C, 139.5, because you have 63 here, and then you add it to 108 and you get 139.5. All right, moving on. All right, we did do this one yesterday, okay? So yesterday we talked about, there were 2 ways to do this really quickly. The first thing I can do is I can half it right here. And there's an Ed puzzle practicing this today. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, James, are you doing that?
I'm not doing that. I only wrote
Okay.
ET.
All right, so we half that. We do 4 times 6. All right. How do we know it's 4 times 6 over here? How do we know this part should be 4 times 6 right here? Because this is 4, correct? We can't just assume that's half. This tells us this is 4. That means this part is 4, right? Okay. All right. And when we do that, the answer we got yesterday was A. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yesterday? Yep. Okay. That is correct. All right. This is a new one. All right. So let me clear out the drawings. All right. So for this one, is that 16 right there? That's too small.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is 16. All right. So I'm going to do a little over here. So we need to get the triangle first. Okay. To get the triangle, we need to do 16 times 12. Is that say 16 times 12? And 16 times 12. And then we need half of that. Does everybody agree with that? But then we got to add the circle in. And the circle would be 8 times 8. It's 8 times 8 because it's radius squared, and the radius is 8. So 8 times 8 times 3.14. But then I've got to half all that because it's just a half a circle. Okay, Betty, I'm trying to get you in. I don't know why it keeps not letting you in. Okay, go ahead and come up with your answer to this one.
Why don't they put in the last decimal number?
What do you mean?
Like the answer, it has
Oh,
decimal.
They've rounded it off.
Yeah.
So they've just rounded it off. Okay, most of you are saying the answer is B. So if you'll see on my screen, I showed you that the answer is B. And the reason the answer is B is because half of the triangle would be 96. And then when I do the circle, and then half that is, the reason I'm halving the circle is because it's just a half circle. And I get 100.48. And so my total answer is 196.5 or B. Most every person put B, that's correct. Good, all right. Let me clear this out, move to the next one. All right, for this one, you got a couple of ways to do it. The easiest way would be do this. Split it right here. Okay. Then this part would be the rectangle. And the rectangle would be 6 times 7.2. And then I need to do the trapezoid. And the trapezoid numbers are 7.2 plus 2.8. Everybody agree? And then half that. And then multiply it by the height. What's the height? 4, right? Because that part down here is 10 and this is 6, so that makes this part 4. I'm doing it too. If you need a hint, look on the type there on the screen. You need a hint. See,
Little
Eddie,
ET
are
is
you in
good,
here?
Jayla.
I didn't write that.
Well, then who wrote evil ET?
Okay, let's focus on the math, okay? All right. Did you get C, 63.2?
Yes.
That is correct. Almost all of you said C, 63.2. That's right. All right. Now, what are you going to do for this one?
Can we
You don't
just combine
have
the
to
two half circles? And-
Okay, I heard somebody say, could we combine the two half circles? What do y'all think?
Yes.
Yep, you sure could. Exactly right. You can combine the two half circles. Well, first of all, how do we know what the circle is? Well, it's 15, right? It has a diameter of 15. So I need half of that, which would be 7.5 times 7.5. So 7.5 times 7.5 times 3.14. And then I just do the rectangle, right?
Yeah.
Which is 15 times 25. All right, so I'm going to do it as well while you do it. So again, you want to do the rectangle 15 times. Heard somebody scratching there, their pen. You want to do 15 times 25. Then you also want to do the circle, which is two half circles. So here's a half circle, here's a half circle. All right. And that should be half of the radius, which would be here. So that's the radius. And that's where you come up with your answer, okay? So I'm getting lots of E's. So yeah, it's E. Do you notice they gave you a lot of them in the 500s this time? They gave you a lot of them in the 500s this time because they're trying to give you distractors, right? But the correct answer is E. So it would be, if you see my screen there, 7.5 times 7.5 times 3.14. That's 176 and 625 thousandths. And then add that with 15 times 25, which is 375, and you get 551.6. And they're just rounding off. It'd really be 551.625, but they just rounded off. All right, let's move on. Last one. And then we're going to start volume. All right, so what do you do here?
Are we supposed to take the area of the green or the white?
We want the area of the circle. No, I'm sorry. You're right. Area of the green. That's correct. Area of the green.
Okay.
Area of the green. Thank you, James. Okay, again, we're wanting the area of the green. Area of the green. So we get the circle. Then we get the rectangle. And then what do we do with that?
We subtract the circles.
From the rectangle. Then you subtract the circle from the rectangle. And when you do that, you should get a 21.5.
Yeah.
Let me look through your responses. If you did not get a 21.5, do you see why? So I got 100 because 10 times 10 is 100. Take away 78.5, which is 21.5. Meters squared. Meters squared. Remember, meters squared. All right. Now, let's talk about volume. All right. So on here, if you will draw on this slide, not yet. Let me ask a question first. The question is, people always go, volume is length times width times height. That's true for one kind of shape, a rectangular prism. One, just that. What is the better way to look at the formula for the volume of a prism? So draw on your slide what it would be. This is a drawing one.
Can you repeat what you want us to do?
Yes. Look at the prism. The answer is it's 60 cubic units, right? And they should have inches cubed. It will hold 60 little cubes because it's the length of it times the width of it times the height. Let me explain that a little better. All right. So I know I need the length here, which is 5. I need the width back here, which is 4. And I need the height right here, which is 3. So 5 times 4 is 20 times 3 is 60 cubic units, cubes, to fill it up like with water or popcorn or something, okay? So the question is, draw on your slide, what's the better way to do that formula instead of going length times width times height? There's a safer way to do that so you don't mess yourself up with other shapes. The volume of other shapes, because that formula only applies to a rectangular prism or a cube. For example, what if it were a Coke can? This same idea works, but there's no length times width times height. It's something times height. That's what I want you to draw on your picture. Tell you this, color in the part that should be done together first. color on the box. What should I do? There's 2 steps. I should do something times something else. Hey, Angelo, you're getting at it. It's something times that second thing. That's right. Kylie, you're pointing to the right place. That's right. Graham, yep. Kimani, that's exactly the right words. Don't say them yet. You got the exact right words. Jayla, yep. Good drawing, Jayla.
Thanks.
Yep, James, that's the right place to color that. That's right. Kimani and James have used the correct terms that I can see. Yeah, all right. Okay, so let me go ahead and say what it is. Okay, stop there. All right, so let me see if I can do this. Okay, what I should do is I should color in this part down here, right? So this is the base. And what I should do is I should say the base, which in this case is represented with a capital B, base, times height. But when we were doing area, base meant a line with a little b. The big B means the base of the solid. And the base, in this case, is the bottom, which is the length times the width. All right? So in this case, we're talking about the bottom of the thing, which would be the length times the width. So it would be volume equals the base, which in this case is 15. All right? It's 15. And I got that by saying 3 times 5 down here. The width is 3, the length is 5, so that's 15. Times 4, or the height. Okay? So the volume is 15 times 4, 60 cubic units. Now, probably in Mr. Johnson's class when you did this last year, I know he mentioned it to you because we talked about it, about making sure he told you that, for the most of you that had him, that you want to always say, yeah, length times width times height is correct, but it's really about what's the area of the base, that's the length and width, in this case it's 15, times how tall it is. Here's why that's important, okay? See if you can follow what I'm doing, all right? So we're saying there's one layer of 15 blocks. There's a second layer of 15 blocks. There's a third layer of 15 blocks, and then there's a fourth layer of 15 blocks. So I've got literally a fourth layer, a third layer, a second layer, and a first layer of 15. Because the bottom, so think of it as a box, and I'm sitting down in there cubes. So there would be 15 on the first level, then on the second level, 15 more, on the third level, 15 more, and on the fourth level, 15 more, okay? That's the important way to do this formula, because if you think about it, if I wanted to know the volume of a triangular prism, there's a different formula for the area of the base, right? It's not length times width. It's length times width half, then times the height, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's still called the base. Right?
Yes. And by that, it means I think of it like this, the bottom layer. Think of that as the bottom layer. Let me write that down. And again, remember, you can get this on our YouTube channel. The base of a solid you might want to jot this down, is a capital B. Okay? Think of it as the bottom layer of the solid. That's the key right there, the bottom layer. Think of it as the bottom layer, okay? Let's try one by yourself, all right? So now you have a Rubik's Cube, except it's not a Rubik's Cube. It's skinnier, right? So text me, what is the volume of this prism?
It's on a diet.
What is the volume of the prism?
Do we text you or do it on Pear Deck?
Pear Deck. You should have a place on Pear Deck. Now, in a cube, this is not a cube. It looks like a cube, but it's not because it doesn't have 3 back, right? It's a rectangular prism. Remember, a rectangular prism is a cube, but not all cube. Wait, sorry. A cube is a rectangular prism, but not all rectangular prisms are cubes, right? It's only called a cube if all 3 measures are the same, like 3 by 3 by 3. If it's 3 by 3 by 3, then yes, it's a cube. This is not a cube. If you just glance at it, you think, oh, cube, but it's not 3 thick, right? Okay. So everybody is saying 18 units. Here's something you got to change. It's not square units because they're cubes now. It's cubic units. So if you'll resend me the correct answer saying cubic units, please. Again, you wanted to say cubic units. So the bottom layer is 6 cubes. And it is how tall? 3 cubes tall. The volume is 18 cubic units. Because I'm literally putting little cubes inside a box. Right? So yes, it's 18 cubic units. All right. Questions about volume. Tomorrow on Ed Puzzle, part of your task is going to watch a video just to help you with it more. And then we're going to practice more tomorrow on volume of rectangular prisms. Then we're going to go to other kind of prisms. Then we're going to go to spheres. We're going to go to cones, all these other shapes that have different formulas. Any questions?
I have can't reach the ducky.
Say again.
I have can't reach the ducky.
Hello, Ducky.
It's
We don't have
Cambridge.
Fred, we don't have Fred on here today.
Hi, Cambridge.
Hello. Hello, Melissa Kitty. All right. So I'm going to also give you a couple of directions. So remember, when you get the Google Classroom assignment each day, my hope is that you start at the top and work through the literacy, the math, the science, the social studies. And then in that little part, it will say, if you have an Ed puzzle, that'll all be in the Ed puzzle section to say, these are the Ed puzzles that work with that. So if you can at least make sure you do the iExcel and get through the Ed puzzles so you get the content, that's my hope, that you at least get through that. Because again, I'm really working hard to make sure we don't get behind, because when school starts back, I hope in May, I don't want you to be super behind so you can finish 6th grade with all the skills you're supposed to have. Okay, so I'm going to close out because it's going to close us in 20 seconds. I will come back on with GimKit in just a moment, so hang by for that, please, and I will see you then, okay? Any questions? Anybody?
This elite.
All right.
Bye,
So I will
guys.
catch you all on the Gim Kit in just a minute. Okay?
Okay, bye, guys.
Be back at the Gim Kit, please. See you there.
Bye.
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 What's the code?